What's happening, fellow Cobras? Welcome back to the Strike First podcast. If this is your first time with us and you love CobraKai and KarateKid, consider joining the dojo today by following my Instagram at Strike First Podcast and hitting the red subscribe button below. Today, we'll be discussing the possibility of how Tom Cole could already know Terry Silver. So to this point, most of us have already heard theories before on the possibility of Silver working with rival car dealer Tom Cole to potentially put Daniel out of business after he already attempted once before to take them down on his own by spilling the beans about the incident at the high school to major manufacturer for Japanese car companies Toyota. But we of course know that he was unsuccessful in this, as Daniel reconnected with Yuna, who is now the senior vice president of sales at Toyota International, who ended up fixing everything for them. And now, theories are arising that Cole and Silver will come together to run the LaRusso dealership out of town, as they both have their own distaste for Daniel. But there's one problem that comes with this theory that allows people to question whether it can legitimately happen or not. And that is, how could Terry Silver and Tom Cole have any connection whatsoever, as we have not seen any interaction between them previously? And while this may be correct, we as viewers have no knowledge of a direct Terry Silver and Tom Cole exchange that has happened before on screen. But what we do have is the possibility that Terry has had some interactions with a relative of Tom Cole in some way before. Now, a lot of you are probably very confused as to what I'm saying and don't have any recollection of Terry Silver having any interaction at all with any of Tom Cole's relatives, but allow me to point something out to you really quickly. Back in Karate Kid 3, Terry is in his bathtub with Margaret, his assistant, sitting in the same room with him and asking him what he intends to do about the grand jury on a case he's involved with. He then proceeds to tell Margaret that he'll bribe the jury as usual, and then asks who the defense attorney is on the case. She replies by saying the defense attorney's name is Mr. Cole, and Silver comes up with the idea to have Willie over for dinner and have his favorite meal as part of a bribe.
Mr. Silver?
Lighten up, Margaret. Who's the DA on the case?
Mr. Cole.
Oh, good. Let's invite Willie to dinner Tuesday night, and let's make sure we have his favorite. What is it, poached salmon?
Very well.
So, we learn two things here in this scene. We witness yet another example of Silver's manipulation skills, as well as the name of the corrupt defense attorney on the case as Willie Cole, who it sounds like Silver has dealt with in the past and knows exactly what it'll take for him to give him what he wants. Now, don't get me wrong, Cole isn't the most uncommon name in the world, but it's definitely not as common as Smith or Johnson. It has that perfect level of commonality to leave us questioning the chances that Willie Cole has any relation to the Tom Cole we know from CobraKai. But if Tom Cole is in fact related to the vulnerable and corrupt Willie Cole, that means Terry might be in the position to potentially hurt Daniel's dealership, which gives the original theory of Tom Cole and Silver working together more traction, and it also gives Tom Cole's original plan to take down the LaRusso auto a lot more context. I found out about this a few days ago while watching the third Karate Kid, and I know it may sound a little far-fetched at first, but if you examine all the information laid out in front of us closely and put the pieces together, it starts to become more and more realistic. And if there's one thing we should never underestimate, it's the power of Terry Silver with the amount of people he knows and connections he has. When you're the CEO of a billion-dollar industry, you develop connections all around the country and perhaps the world as well. But with that being said, guys, as of right now, this is all just a theory at the end of the day. We still don't know if any of this is true and it'll actually happen, but let me know in the comments section below your thoughts on the chances of Terry Silver and Tom Cole working together to take down LaRusso Auto, and what you think the likelihood is that Tom Cole and the defense attorney from Karate Kid 3, Willie Cole, are related in any way possible. As well as leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to stay updated on CobraKai and Karate Kid content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, now you're in the real world, so you might want to learn to strike first.